afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our 1:30 yoga session. So glad everyone's able to join me for a half hour of yoga therapy. And if everyone's ready to go, we're sitting on our sturdy yoga chair. And I'm going to have you move forward towards the end of your chair. Feet are flat to the floor. We're going to roll those shoulders back so we're sitting in really good posture as those shoulders go back and down. And let's bring those palms together as they rest at heart center. I'll invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable, but we'll sit for a moment just focusing on our breath. So taking those nice gentle breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allowing your rib cage to contract and relax as the air moves freely through your body. This is a wonderful way to set your intention for the practice that we'll do today. So just again taking a few easy breaths and remembering that during our entire practice that you should be breathing. And you can come back to this moment and remember those breaths. And on our next inhalation, let's bring those palms all the way high up into the sky. And then exhale those arms down. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. As we inhale, palms pressed together, raising up towards the sky, and releasing down. And last time, inhaling up, exhaling down. We'll release the palms to the tops of our thighs and turning our head looking over the right shoulder, just providing a little stretch to the left side of the neck and focusing in on those shoulders. Again, trying to bring them down and away from your ears. Great, come back to center and we're going to repeat that stretch to the opposite side. So gently turn the head so you're looking over the left shoulder. And again, breathing as we hold in this posture. Bringing head to center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, dropping right ear to right shoulder. Let's extend the left arm at a diagonal. This gives us a little intensity in the stretch happening on the left side of the neck. And then we'll return the hand to the thigh as our head raises to center. And we'll repeat to the other side. So left ear to left shoulder. And then release that right arm out. At a diagonal, holding. And breathing. Great. Let's release that hand back to the thigh as we raise the head to center. And very gently drop your chin to your chest. Again, being aware of the alignment of your shoulders. Keeping your back tall. And gently you'll rotate that head forward. So we're going to go from right to center and then left to center. So a few times as we just rotate the head, getting some good flexibility throughout the back of our neck. And we'll go about 1 more time through, all the way from right to left and back. And then I'm going to have you stop so that your head is still looking towards the floor, chin to chest. Take a deep breath in and exhale. on the next inhale, let's raise that eye gaze towards the ceiling. And exhale as we hold. Wonderful, and then bring that head to center. Excellent. Let's release arms, and again, I'm going to have you do those nice big shoulder rolls back as we adjust our posture. Good. 2 more rolls back, and we're going to extend arms forward so that palms are together. So as we sit, let's relax those shoulders down, and we'll take an inhale, stretching that chest. Bring palms back together. 2 more times. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Last time. Inhale to open. And exhale to close. Now to stretch the chest just a little bit further, let's bring those arms back and behind us. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. If your flexibility allows, you can hold the chair behind you, raising eye gaze to the ceiling as you're hinging forward for a more increased stretch of your chest and shoulders. If your flexibility does not allow, you can do that hinge forward and allow those arms just to stretch back, again opening the chest and raising that eye gaze towards the ceiling. Then we'll come back to a nice tall back, shaking out those arms. We'll begin with arms extended forward again. So we're going to do that one more time. So we'll inhale, bringing those arms back, resting to the top of the chair, eye gaze going towards the ceiling. And in that hinge, if it feels more comfortable, arms stretched by your sides. Great, then come all the way back up. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale as head comes to center. And again, resting those hands to the tops of the thighs. Great, we're going to go into spinal twist. So left hand's going to move across the body so it rests on the outside of the right thigh. That right hand can rest to the back of your chair. And again, if your flexibility allows, you can twist and rest that arm to the top of your chair. So here on your seat, as you look over your shoulder, or bring it higher to the top of your chair, allowing for that spinal twist. And as we hold here, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Great, let's bring ourselves back to center. We can rest those hands to the tops of the thighs, and of course we'll switch to the other side. So right hand travels over the tops of the thighs, hinging to the outside of the left thigh. Our left arm can rest to that chair, and we'll go into that spinal twist, resting here, or resting to the top of our chair. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. We'll bring ourselves back to center. Hands again resting to the tops of the thighs. We'll move out towards the knees with those hands, and we're hinging forward, bending the elbows. Torso comes down to the tops of the thighs as far as your range will let you go. And then as you come on up, tuck that belly into a nice tall spine. So let's do that about 3 more times. Inhaling down and exhaling on the way back up. Inhaling down and exhaling up. And this will be last time. And then come all the way up to a nice tall spine. So an overhead side stretch, Left hand releases to the side of the chair. So you can rest or you can hold the chair, whatever feels more comfortable. Roll those shoulders back. So we're sitting nice and tall, our tummies are engaged. Right arm releases by our side. We'll take an inhale, bringing arms so that it stretches up high towards the ceiling. Really get a long stretch through that arm, and then we'll go into our side bend. So the hand on the chair is providing support as we move into the side bend. And then come all the way down. Good. So let's do that again. We'll inhale, raise that arm so it's stretching up towards the ceiling, nice and tall. And we'll release down. Stretching over. Feeling a stretch all the way from the hips through the rib cage, all the way out to the fingertips. And release that arm down. We're going to do that one more time. So inhale, stretching tall to begin. And exhale as we move into side bend. Great. And we're going to come all the way down. Excellent. All right, so we'll move to the other side. So now that right hand is either holding underneath the chair, we can rest to the top of the chair, whatever feels more comfortable. Left arm releases, roll those shoulders back. We're sitting in tall posture, abdominals are engaged. We'll take that inhale, bringing that arm as it stretches towards the ceiling, get a nice lengthening out of our shoulder. And then we go right into side bend. Getting that good stretch through the side body and coming on down. Good, let's do that again. So inhaling up, stretching long through the arm. Exhaling as we go into side bend. Great, and come all the way down. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, stretching tall in body. Exhale as we move into side bend. And then just continue that gentle breathing. And then bring that arm all the way down. Good. Both arms can release together towards the floor. We'll shake out those arms, wiggle those fingers. Take that deep breath as those arms come up, stretching tall towards the ceiling. And exhale down 2 more times. Inhale, tall towards the ceiling. Exhale down. And this will be last time. Inhale. And we'll exhale down. Great job. All right. So palms of the hands will rest at our hips as we go into some hip rotation. So sitting here as we're moved out towards the end of the chair, we'll just begin in one direction, getting some good rotation around. And it doesn't matter which way, because of course we'll switch to the other side. So just nice circular movement. Let's go 2 more times around. Great, and we're going to reverse direction, so we'll just go the opposite way. Good, so just nice big circles around. Two more circles. End, body is tall. Good, and releasing both arms by our sides, we'll go into alternating side bend. So we'll move right side to left side, reaching down towards the floor, right to left. Great, let's go one more time to each side. Excellent. Coming tall, roll those shoulders back, and we'll rest those hands to the tops of the thighs. So moving down the body, let's engage a little bit more into our hip flexors, knees, and down to our feet. So lifting each of our knees, alternating right side to left side, just a nice easy movement, almost as if you're marching in place, but a very slow, controlled march. And bringing those knees higher than a march. Really getting a good stretch. So one more time to each side. Great. All right, we're going to work on some knee hugs. So we're going to alternate those right to left. So hands will come around the tops of our knees. And as we keep our spine tall, our back, neck, and shoulders are still in alignment, we wrap those hands around the front of the knee and pull the knee towards us. Now, if it feels more comfortable, you can always bring the hands underneath and grab at the underside of the thigh. So depending on which one works best for you, but keep that back tall, that neck and head tall and in alignment with the whole spine. And we're going to return that right foot down. So we'll do the same to the left side. Either those hands wrap around the front of the knee or go under the thigh. And we're just getting a good hug on that knee. Excellent. So we're going to return to the right side. We'll do each side one more time. So again, even as we sit here and hold, using the strength of our arms to hold us in this knee hug, we're breathing. So inhaling and exhaling, never holding the breath. Let's release that right leg down and we'll move to the other side. Inhaling and exhaling. Excellent. All right, so we're going to go back to the right side. We're going to do the knee hug, but we're also going to add a rotation. So once we grab onto that knee, you'll use your arms as you move that hip in rotation. Doesn't matter which direction, because of course we're going to switch that up. So just a nice couple rotations around. And now let's switch. We'll go the opposite way. Good. 2 more times, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Great. One last little hug up of that knee. We'll return it back to the floor. And then, of course, now we're going to engage the other side. So let's first get that knee up, wrapping the hands around. And again, if you're utilizing that hold under the thighs, you can still do this as well. So hold wherever feels comfortable for you. Keep that spine tall, and we'll add that rotation of the hip in. So just nice and easy around. One more time in this direction, and then we're going to switch. So we'll reverse that. One more complete circle, and then we're going to end with that final hug up of the knee. Great. All right, and then we'll release that down. So let's just again do that alternating knee lift as our palms rest to the tops of the thighs. Great. One more time to each side. And then we'll move back in our chair. So still engaging more of our lower body. We want our back to feel supported, but we also want to make sure that our spine is tall. Just because we're sitting at the back of the chair, we don't want to be hunched forward. So really focus on sitting with good posture. Feet should still remain flat to the floor. We're going to extend the right leg out and flex that foot. So we're really engaging those muscles of the leg. and focusing two to our abdominals as we hold. So again, just taking those breaths, we breathe in and out, even in holding in this posture. Great, and now we're going to switch to the other side. So right foot goes down, and then we'll lift that left leg. So same thing, we extend out, we flex that foot, we're sitting tall in spine, engaging those abdominals. Great, and then release down. All right, so we're going to raise that right leg again. As we hold up, let's just do a nice point to flex. We'll work a little bit into that ankle. Just back and forth, nice and easy, getting a good stretch so you feel that through the bottom of the foot and the ankle, and then the top of the foot. Great. All right, one more time as we point and flex, and then of course we're going to switch to the other side. So left leg extends, we make that flexion of the foot happen first, we're holding, and then we add in that point to flex. Great, let's keep going. Excellent. All right, and then we're going to return that foot down. I'm going to have you move forward again, keeping those feet separated, and one more time we're going to lift those knees, continuing to engage those hip flexors, and we work the lower part of those abdominals, so make sure you're sitting tall, keeping that belly button pulled back towards the spine. One more time to each side, and then rest both feet down. Excellent. All right, so let's move down towards our toes. From here, what I'd like you to do is just raise those toes up. And as you do, you want to think, as I can show you on my fingers, just as if you were spreading those toes apart, really stretching each of the toes, allowing a good stretch to happen. And then we'll release them down. We'll do that one more time as we pull back, stretching those toes apart. Great, and then drop those toes down. Now from here, I want you to do the opposite. So you're going to take those toes and tuck them under, like curl them under you, as if you were picking something up off of the floor with your toes. And then release them. And one more time, curl those toes under. And release. Very good. All right. So rolling from toes back to heels. Let's do that a few times. Really feel the stretch through the bottoms of the feet as we roll. Let's go two more times. And then rest those feet nice and flat. All right, so our next posture will move us into goddess pose. So from here, we want to separate our feet. So moving a little further than hip width apart. And then I'm going to have you turn your toes out. So even in turning the toes out to the side, you want to make sure your hips, your knees, and your toes are all in alignment. So it does help to be pushed out away from the back of your chair, so you want to be out towards the front, and we're going to leave the hands rested to the tops of the thighs as we hinge forward. So we'll come right towards the middle of our thighs as far as your range will let you go, bending those elbows as you hinge forward, and then we'll come up to a nice tall back. We'll do that one more time, hinging forward. And coming up to a nice tall back. So we're going to add the shoulder work in here. By doing that, we'll hinge and then alternate a shoulder coming towards the middle of the thighs. So that hinge is still happening, and we're just allowing that shoulder to come to the middle of the thighs. Stretch one side and then the other. Good, and then we're gonna go one more time to each side. Great, and then we're gonna sit tall as we walk those feet a little further in. So they're back to about hip width apart. And we're going to go to a little bit more of a challenging move as we wind down our practice here. We're going to go into our side angle pose. So this particular posture, we're going to start with the right arm. We want our forearm to rest across the tops of our thighs. So we will make that slight hinge forward, resting that forearm on the tops of the thighs. The left arm, as we're hinged forward, will reach towards the floor, wiggling those fingers. We're going to go into spinal twist as that arm raises, and we're going to follow it with our eye gaze as far as our range is going to allow us to go. So for some of you, it may not be as high, and that's okay. You go where your range is comfortable. We hold that posture. You'll take a nice deep breath in and exhale, and then we'll bring it all the way back down. So again, you'll stop where your range is allowing you to go. We inhale to start, going into that spinal twist, going as high as our range will let us. Breathing as we hold in the posture and coming all the way down. Great, so I'm going to have you sit up nice and tall as we release both arms, shake them out, and we're going to repeat to the other side. So now will be our left arm. So that forearm will rest at the tops of the thighs as we hinge forward. The right arm will extend towards the floor. We'll take that inhalation and follow with our eye gaze the arm. So again, you'll end where your range allows you to go. If you can bring it fully extended, great. If that does not happen, that's okay too. This is helping to open chest, open shoulders, and we'll bring it all the way back down. And remember, we're adding breath work into this pose as we inhale, following that eye gaze. Exhale as we reach the top. And breathing easy as we hold. And then we're releasing arm all the way down. And we'll sit up tall in spine as our arms release by our sides, rolling those shoulders back. Good. Now let's take that shoulder roll forward. Excellent. So we're going to end in our ragdoll pose. So feet are flat to the floor, utilizing the tops of our thighs to kind of stop us. We'll hinge ourselves forward, letting arms just hang by our sides. And just like a ragdoll, head, neck, and shoulders relax forward. And even in this very relaxable pose, you want to inhale and exhale. Allowing head, neck, and shoulders to just relax. And we'll take an inhale as we bring ourselves up to a nice tall spine. Our head should be the last to come up as our spine unfolds to a tall spine. We'll inhale, arms overhead. Exhaling down, One more time as we go all the way up. And exhale down. Let's bring palms together as we complete our session. We're at heart center, keeping shoulders relaxed and down away from those shoulders. Let's take a nice deep breath in and exhale. One last time, inhale and exhale. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining me today.